Ahoy there! Welcome to episode 5 of Small Craft Tasmania. We know how the Scamp punches far above her weight. She's capable, comfortable and surprisingly nimble. At under 12 feet, there's few boats like her. What about her little sisters? The tender behind and the Sherpa. This weekend, I want to show you how capable the Sherpa is. I'm going to sail Sea Pup a distance of 8 nautical miles across an open and often turbulent bit of water. I'm going to circumnavigate a rock where the oldest existing lighthouse in Australia still operates on. Then I'm going to sleep not on her, but under her. I'm going to show you why I think the Sherpa is the ultimate micro cruiser. So stick around and join me for this micro cruising adventure. I'll see you at the ramp. Here we are at the Tinderbox boat ramp. And I'll show you where we're going. So, ramp's here. This is where we are now. We'll be heading east to the Iron Pot, which is here. This is Storm Bay here. We've got the channel. This is Bruny Island, Northwest Bay in here, and River Derwent up here. So this is a really interesting piece of water in here because we've actually got the intersection of 4 different waters. Can be a little bit unpredictable, but I think we've chosen a good day today. Once we go around the Iron Pot, we head back again. And we'll come in up here to a place called Nebraska Beach on North Bruny Island, and we'll spend the night here. And then... Okay, we're ready to launch. I'll show you. So in here I've got all my clothes. In this one I've got all my cooking stuff and food, and then up forward I've got anchor. I've got a sea anchor or drogue. There's actually 2 there, different sizes. You can use them in conjunction or alone depending on what you want to achieve. In here I've got all my sleeping stuff, bags, thermarest, so forth. Up forward there's another hatch for the bulkhead in here, and I've got another spare anchor and more lines in there. In the aft I've got fenders, more lines in there as well. There we go, she's ready to go. Shout out to Michael Storer, great sails. 5-10 minutes to rig her up, another 5 minutes to put everything on board. Couple of minutes to put her in the water. Come on. Come on.
A ridge of high pressure extends across Victoria and Bass Strait during the day, directing a westerly airstream over Tasmania. The cold front is well west of Tasmania during Thursday.
Here we go. Just left Tinderbox, and through there, that's the Iron Pot. That's where we're headed. This is Bruny, the channel, downwind run to Iron Pot, and then I'm expecting a sea breeze around lunchtime, just after lunch, which means that'll come up from the south, maybe even the east, and push us back to North Bruny, where we're going to spend the night. So far it's looking pretty comfortable. I must say this is pretty comfy. Just quite happy sitting at this speed. We're doing about 4.5 knots according to my dumb watch. The wind's picked up a little bit. We're probably up close to 15 knots in the gusts, so I've decided to put a reef in, and we'll see how that goes for a bit. Now I can see under the boom now too. And just as I put the reef in, the wind drops off again. Anywho, this is Tasman Peninsula over here. So when the Sydney to Hobart boats come in, they come around that furthest cape, and then the Iron Pot is actually the last marker that they go past. So behind us we've got Tinderbox. This is Bruny Island, just here. And then behind me, down here, that's Bruny Island.
Don't forget to hit subscribe.
Down here, that's Bruny Island. This is all Bruny Island here, and this is Storm Bay. And from here down, there's nothing until you hit Antarctica. I think I might shake that reef out. That's better. One of the most important sail adjustment tools is the downhaul on a lug, and it's really important to be able to access that while you're sailing. So I can let her out, pull her in quite simply here. I don't think it needs any more purchase than that. That works fine on this size boat, this size sail. And then I've got my main halyard at hand as well. Very simple. The idea of this boat is to keep it as simple as possible. Just over halfway now. Wind's dropped off a little bit. If you remember in our last video where Ben and I were bringing Little Wing down the river, we were coming into a sea breeze that was blowing about 20 knots, and we also had a 2-metre swell coming at us. That was just in here. That was a fun bash. Actually, Ben was pretty keen to come out with me today in his mirror. He wanted to do this trip, but he's on his way to Antarctica again. He's one of the skippers. He heads down there every season. So here's the iron pot. The oldest existing lighthouse in Australia. It was the second lighthouse ever built, actually. What I'm going to do is sail around to the lee side, put the sail down, get the oars out, and see if I can find a place to go ashore. Very lucky there's no swell today, or very little swell. Normally you can't get this close. Certainly keelboats don't like getting this close. There's lots of reefs under here. Lots of rocks, lots of kelp, big sharks, krakens. So I've rowed around the iron pot, but I can't see anywhere that I can bring the dinghy up safely without damaging her. Unfortunately, there's just a little bit of surge coming through. There's a cracker of a current coming through here, and a lot of kelp that I keep getting caught up in too. So there used to be a family that lived on this island. Up to 15 people lived on this rock at one point. There was a massive Gothic 2-story mansion, believe it or not. Even in 1890 there was a child that was born on this rock. Now when the kids got older, they used to have to row their way over to that bit of land, which is South Arm, and they'd make their way up to school. And I think it was around about 1920, somewhere around there, that this lighthouse became fully automated. So the lighthouse keepers weren't needed. So they demolished the beautiful building that was on here. There's records of a big storm that came through. I think it was about 1894. And the waves were so big that it left bits of kelp up on the railings of the lighthouse. So you can imagine how big the swell was. Now that breeze has dropped right off, so I'm going to get this sail up and start heading back. So to complete my circumnavigation of the iron pot in Sea Pup, I need to go through here. I won't try and go through there because there's too much current, too much weed. I can feel that the wind swung around. That sea breeze has just started to come through. That's really handy. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. It's hard to believe. There was a house on there.
Before dawn, then tending west to southwesterly in the early afternoon. Wind reaching up to 25 knots offshore during the morning and early afternoon. Sea around 1 metre, increasing to 1 to 2 metres offshore. First swell west to southwesterly, 2.5 to 3 metres.
Yeah, here comes the sea breeze right on cue. You can see there's a few whitecaps behind us now. It's about 1:30. Normally comes through about 1, 2 o'clock. Got a big cat following me. Cat following the sea pup. Huh. What a day. It's been a perfect little cruise.
With a southwesterly swell of 1.5 to 2.5 metres. The weather cloudy with a 50% chance of showers. Winds of 10 to 15 knots, becoming variable about 10 before dawn, before becoming southwesterly at 10 to 15 knots in the late evening. Below 1 metre, increasing to 1.5.
So we're coming around to what's called Den's Point on Bruny Island.
Around 1 metre.
And I thought maybe we could spend the night up in here. Just tucked up in this cove.
Flinders Island to St Helens Point, today until midnight.
There we go. We're on Bruny Island at Den's Point. Have a look at this. I'm going to pull the boat up, flip it over and sleep there. Somewhere here. But first I thought I might go for a swim, get some mussels, have some lunch, and then after lunch I might go for a fish. I'll take Sea Pup out for a row, get some fish maybe for dinner, mussels and fish for dinner. Sounds good. Guy. There's a little game going on. Who's going to get the food? There I am. I just come over to the jetty and grabbed a few of these mussels. They're not the biggest mussels in the world, but I only need a dozen or so for dinner. Okay, just went for a swim. You didn't need to see that. Trust me, it's not YBS Youngbloods content, but I did get some seagrass. Put this in with our dinner tonight. See, the sea breeze has picked up quite a bit now. Okay, Matt's cooking show. 2-minute noodles. You're thinking, come on, gone boy, 2-minute noodles? Bear with me. What we're going to do is a bit of water boiling, throw the mussels in, wait till they open up a little bit. Then I've got a little bit of fish, some of the sea lettuce that I grabbed, and then I've got some of the edamame beans. These are fabulous. And I've just emptied those into a little container that I've chopped up some capsicum at home, and I grabbed some Vietnamese mint, and in here is a bit of sesame oil and lemon juice. Once the mussels have opened up a little bit, throw the rest in. It'll all make sense in a minute. Noodles in. There we go. That's been about a minute now for the noodles. So now I'll put the fish in, and the lettuce. Fish doesn't take long. Now we can put the capsicum, edamame and the Vietnamese mint in. Alright, That's ready to go. Now, check that out. Look at that. That's a good broth. And these little crabs that you get in the mussels, these little crabs, they're good. A bit crunchy, but they're really good. Look at those mussels. That's good tucker. Everything tastes better at sea though. There she is, my tent for the night. I've got my thermarest under there, sleeping bag, and that's it. It's even got a built-in shelf for all my books and things. Morning. The tide came up and I've only got about 2 or 3 foot of water between my feet and the high water mark, so I judged that well. Let's have a coffee. Coffee time. And that's it. Welsford Sherpa, the ultimate micro cruiser. You tell me. Leave your comments below. Bit of early morning exercise. Bit of a southwesterly this morning, which is perfect to take us back to Tinderbox, which is not far. Just over a mile. You can see there in the distance. Another perfect morning. A few boats out this morning. It's supposed to be a warm day, just light breezes. Got some fish?
No. Great boat though.
Thank you. I'll be home for lunch, well and truly. What an easy weekend. What an easy, simple boat to get out and about in. Here we are, back at Tinderbox Ramp. There she is, all packed up, ready to go home. Thanks for joining us on our mini adventure in a micro cruiser. Certainly contender for one of the best micro cruisers, the Welsford Sherpa. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Certainly a contender for one of the best micro cruisers, the Welsford SCAMP. Jesus Christ.
See you, Matt.
Thanks, Bruce. See you guys.